everybody, I'm Susan. Welcome to Plateau Art Studio, Art for Kids. Join me as I walk you through step by step on some art projects. Let's see what we're doing today. Hi everybody. Well, today we're going to be coloring a gecko and we're going to be using our shapes and patterns. So shapes are any shape you want to make. So that's like a triangle, a rectangle, a circle. A shape could be the shape of a leaf or a flower. So it could be something you come up with. Could be like a crescent moon. I have diamonds on the back of my gecko with little circles, and he's missing his little googly eyes here. So but we'll put those on later. So yes, so this is what we're gonna do. So we have this little three-dimensional gecko, and let's get started. So the first thing is you have a gecko that is just a blank gecko, and I want you to draw with your patterns. A pattern is something that usually repeats. So that means like if I had a diamond, 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 or maybe I have a set of little circles and a flower, a set of circles and flower, or a heart, something. Maybe I have a heart here and then circle, circle, circle. You come up with a pattern and shapes to decorate your gecko. So as you do that and you draw with a pencil on your gecko, so you come up with that while you put me on pause or just shut me off, and then when you're ready to color after you've come up with your design, then we'll do that together. So I have one that, let's see here. Well, I really favor my diamonds. I don't know why, but so I just draw out some diamonds. Maybe this part of the tail has two. And then maybe they can get smaller down his tail. But don't make anything so tiny you can't color it in, all right? So we're gonna be using crayons, and if you are lucky enough to have some oil pastels at home, these are brighter and they tend to be maybe a little more messy. So if you like coloring with oil pastels, then I suggest that. But crayons work just great for this project. And these oil pastels are by Junior Art. They're the Junior Artist Cray Pass, and they're just like a student quality oil pastel. There's 25 colors in them. I don't know how much they are. It's been a while since I purchased them, and I do get my teacher's wholesale discount, so but most craft stores have a kind of a junior type oil pastels and crayons and paints and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I use for those. So, and then other than that, I just have this little box of 48 of crayons that are just by Crayola. So that's what we're working with today. So you should have your gecko and two googly eyes, crayons, or oil pastels. All right, so after you're done drawing your pattern, and I'm gonna make some little groups of circles. Maybe it's like the texture of the lizard skin. I can make some little lines here to kind of accentuate the curves of his arms and legs. One here, like that. So you work on that. All right, so when you're done, come visit me again and we'll color, okay? So let's go to the next step. So you can see the difference between oil pastel and crayon. I have already drawn with a little bit of oil pastel. So they are usually really nice and bright and dense. They're more dense than, that means just kind of a little thicker. You can't see through them as well as the crayon on there. So this little design I drew, and then I used a black oil pastel to trace my design. You can use a marker if you want. It doesn't have to be waterproof or permanent marker because we're not using paint. So if you want to trace your design with a marker, and then it'll all show up really, really well. All right, so I'm going to continue coloring, and I'm using my crayon, and this is pink, kind of a, let's see what color this is. It's salmon. So I will do a little bit of crayon, and I will color with a little pastel so you can see the difference in just how it covers. And there are some fun things about oil pastels too, that they smear easy. But if you are using crayon and you get little pieces from maybe the crayon I'm pressing, and you do this, you just be really careful that you don't smear them on there. Just kind of just brush really lightly. And you can kind of see how you can see through the crayon a little bit more. You can see through to the paper when you use crayon, and that's fine. That's just different, that's all. Doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just different. And if you lightly go over, you can kind of get a layer, a couple layers of crayon. Keep going over, but that will make your hand and really tired to color that much. So I think I'm going to have his little feet a different color. Okay. Well, I hope you're having a really good day today. It hopefully is, because gosh, anytime you get to do art, I love art. That's why I teach it. I have done some form of art my whole life. Both my grandmothers were very artistic, really good artists. So I went to college and learned there some professional art tips, and my grandmothers were both very artistic, so I learned a lot from them as well, and as well as being self-taught. So okay, so that's what the pink looks like with the green background. Let's try yellow. This is not a bright yellow, it's called goldenrod, and I find it shows up better than just for a crayon than my yellow. I do have another piece of paper down. I always use like another little piece of paper underneath what I am drawing or painting, because that way if I want to go on the edges like this, then I'm just coloring on a piece of paper I can throw away later. It can be anything, a little piece of printing paper, as long as it's disposable. There's my goldenrod, which is a color of yellow, and this was the pink salmon crayon. This was the orange pastel, red pastel, blue pastel. I think I'm going to continue with the yellow. I like that. I don't think I like that pink very much on there, but sometimes that happens. you go, you know, not every piece of art I do turns out well. maybe something I like but not love. And sometimes, you know, we're experimenting too, so with new colors or some kind of new art. Okay, let's see, yellow, yellow. I really like that on there. Not so much that. Let's see. Let's do, we have one blue stripe, blue, blue. We'll do some more orange. Okay, this is orange oil pastel, and I am going to use an orange crayon. So let's see what the difference is. I think this is much brighter. That almost looks similar to the red. There, okay. So these two are solid. These two, I think I'm going to go back to the yellow. And now I'll use some oil pastel just so you can see the difference. I'll use kind of this goldenrod color. It goes on a little thicker. And it's soft. It's much softer than a crayon. So the thing about this is you can kind of smear it. All right, see that? It smears. So you can use your finger. I'm used to doing that, or you can use a Q-tip. That works well too if you want to kind of smooth out and smear it a little bit. I put a little bit of this on his nose. Just smeared it a little bit. That is the one thing with, you don't want to press as hard either if you're using your oil pastels, because they break in half easy. So don't press too hard if you're using your oil pastels. Take a little more time and cover that area. Plus, if you're not pressing really, really hard, you'll save your hands and fingers from getting too tired. Let's see. We still have circles to do. I'll do all in gold. And now I have, let's give him some light blue toenail polish on this side. There we go, there's little blue toenails. I'm not going to color the eyes because I have the googly eyes, the little wiggly eyes. Some people call them googly, the little wiggly eyes. Okay, all right, so there's his little feet. The designs are colored in. I still have one diamond and some more circles. Ooh, I'd love to see what you guys are coming up with. All right, so what color should we do these? Let's see. Let's do purple. See, now this one's broken in half, but it still has the paper on it. And they do break easy, so you just have to be careful. Purple little dots, and when you brush off any oil pastel, little tiny pieces can build up if you're pressing really hard, so don't do that. And be real gentle because they do smear, so if you have some little pieces on there, just brush really lightly because otherwise they'll smear on there. Okay, so there is our gecko. I know you're probably not done yet, so you keep drawing And I'll keep going here. So the next thing I'm going to do is the background. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside, and you have a piece of paper that, let's see here. I don't want that oil pastel on my paper here. Okay, so you have this little piece of paper, and all I want you to do is come up with, you can draw some leaves on there, because this is where your gecko is going to live. Okay, so I did 2 curved lines, I made some simple leaves. Maybe I'll do another one. I'll do another one here. Okay. Maybe one coming off there. Alright, so there's my leaves, and then you can color those in as well. And what I want you to do is make some kind of design with some leaves. So on my other one I drew a square in each corner. That. You can use just one color, or you can make it really colorful if you want. And I'm just using my shapes and patterns again. And this is just a swirly, like a wavy line. Goes behind the leaf there. Just using a wavy line. Okay, so then I can color in my leaves, and that's where my gecko is going to go. Alright, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fold in half your gecko. Now the tail doesn't quite fold in half because the tail goes a different direction. So I fold the body in half, and then I do the tail separately, like that. Okay, so then I stretch them out a little bit, but I want them to stay folded. So you can see he's standing up on the leaves there. So what I'll have you do is use double-sided tape, glue, or your stick glue works the best. All right, so you're going to put a little bit of glue on his feet. Oh, before we do that, we need his eyes. So before we glue him on, oops, these have these have the little eyelashes on them. So you have to look to see what direction they go on. There we go. Cute little guy. There. Okay, so then you'll glue his little feet down, and then he'll stay standing up on your project. Alright, so there is a little difference between your crayons and your oil pastels, and I think this is the cutest project ever, so I hope you really enjoyed it. And there's a little pet for you that doesn't need to be fed, washed, or anything like that. And so there you go. I hope you really enjoyed that. It's a really fun project. And here, we'll give him a little buddy. We'll fold this one. I'll fold him in half real quick here. We'll give him a little friend. There we go. So then this guy can stand up too. There we go. He doesn't have any eyes yet. There we go. There's a couple geckos for you. All right. Well, you have a great day, and I will see you for the next project. Bye-bye now. Hey, thanks for joining me today. I hope you had fun with that project. Tune in next week. We'll see what we're doing then. Okay, bye-bye.